Constraints are opportunities for a breakthrough. Hello everyone, my name is Ajay and I welcome you back in our show wherein we try to show how common men can succeed in their life just by pushing their limit and thinking out of the box. Today we're gonna meet a personality whose patience, optimistic nature and the hard work paid off. Who wanted to become an engineer but ended up with the founder of Question Answer Private Limited. Who also believe if you do what you love, definitely you can succeed in what you do. So let's meet a founder of Question Answer app, Mr. Jeet Cheda. Hi Jeet.
Hi, how are you? Good morning.
Good morning, good morning. First of all, thank you so much for being on our Brain Unbox show.
Thank you.
And I would like to start off the interview with asking the first question is how your journey been being from being a questioning child in your family to a founder of your own company called Question Answer Private Limited.
Okay. So I grew up in Bombay and I come from a business family. So our main business is petrol pumps and investments. So growing up, I've always been surrounded by all business talk and talk related to money and business basically. And it was always within me to do some business, but I never knew what. So that started my first round of questions. So I used to always keep on asking questions as a child. And I think asking questions has never really gone away from me. It has only increased over time. So when it went, like I was growing up from every standard. So I used to try to talk with my father and my uncle, and we used to discuss, but they used to not really listen to me. But I used to still try to keep on asking questions about business and work, and that really never went away. But they stopped talking to me about that because they couldn't answer my questions, which is fine. It is fair. Everyone is busy in their own life, but I never stopped seeking that answer. Like I wanted to do something, but I did not know what. And in the year 2007, we shifted to Pune. And when I shifted to Pune, I was in a school. It was an international school, and so I got a lot of exposure there in terms of friends and in the kind of thinking people have. And it was a very good experience basically. So we shifted over here, and I was under the international curriculum. And so once again it came up to me, so I wanted to do something in business. So it was a good opportunity for understanding what to do. Now as a child while growing up, I wanted to become an automobile engineer. So I chose the courses of automobile engineering, but because I was not a good student, the school told me that I have to change my subjects. So I had to shift to subjects which are going to be good for me for business. So I said okay fine, then business. So I went into business studies, and then I started doing BBA. I did a master's in finance, and I never really stopped seeking that. So when I was a child, I used to keep on asking questions about wanting to do something. Now that wanting to do something meant I wanted to do something which would be for the entire world, and it's something that everyone could buy every single day. But I was not able to come to that answer. However, after coming to Pune and then spending a lot of time in Pune, and I also had a work experience in Pune. I was working for a corporate job in Pune for 2 years. This is before I made my house also in Pune. So it was a good experience for me. And then I got an opportunity to actually go to Vipassana, which is a meditation center, which was instructed to me by my mentor, who told me that you should visit that place once, because all those answers you're seeking, you will get the answers over there. Because you just go within yourself. So in the year 2019, I went to Vipassana for the first time. In fact, last year, this time I was in Vipassana. So it was a good journey that time. And in fact, 2 days back, I had got my answer, what I was looking for. Basically, there was a lot of clarity. I just got a lot of clarity over there. Everything was within me, but when you give your time to yourself without distraction, I think a lot of beautiful things happen, and it happened to me over there. So this is how I came from Bombay.
So since when you've been doing a meditation?
So properly I have been doing it only since last year.
Okay.
So it's been only 1 year now.
Okay. So how has that meditation changed your life?
It's changed me in a very beautiful way because it makes me very aware of who I am. It makes me very aware of understanding what. Once you understand the what, then the why becomes easier and then the how becomes even easier. So first, when you spend time with yourself, you really understand what you want. Now the what, as the what becomes more and more clearer, it directly makes the why clearer also, like why you want to do it. And then you only have one opportunity, and that is to do it. That is how. So when you actually jump into the water, then that's when you realize how deep the pond is. So you have to take action also. But once you understand what, then the how becomes easier. So meditation has helped me gain immense clarity with what I want to do, and then I am left with a choice if I want to do it or not. So at the end of the day, I am responsible for everything that I do or everything that I say. And the past is the reason for the current present, and how I am today will define my future. So it actually grounds you, it makes you understand what you are doing exactly, where you are going, and then you have an opportunity whether you want to continue that way or you want to improve. So meditation has brought me that. So it just gives me a lot of clarity, and it makes me see things exactly for what they are. Because normally the mind is a monkey basically. It's a monkey. It'll keep on thinking and creating meanings. So that confuses you actually. So I was very confused, but then when you become silent, in Vipassana it is very difficult, but it is amazing. So when you break down, you have an opportunity to build back again. So then you can choose how you want to get built. So that's how meditation helps me. Like it helps me even today. I do it even today, every morning. Whenever I get the time, I try to do it, because even if it's for 5 minutes, it's fine. But I just need that time for myself. So like I told you earlier, while I was growing up, I was always seeking an answer for what business should be done or what product should be created or served to the world, which everyone will need every single day. So I was seeking that. Now that seeking actually never stopped. Maybe on the front it stopped of asking people and discussing, but internally I was simply trying to seek that. Like I wanted to understand what is that one thing that everyone needs every single day. So that was my first starting point, which never stopped. It was in the back burner, but it never stopped. Now when I went to Vipassana, I actually went to Vipassana to avoid a different situation. I did not go to find out what business to do. I went to Vipassana because I had just experienced a relationship ending, and I wanted to give some time to myself in that. And I was supposed to go in October anyway, but I preponed it to end of May. And while going there, though I went to avoid another situation which was back home in Pune, that question which was within me for so many years, for 14 years, to understand what is that one product or service that every single person needs every single day, that thing came up to me in Vipassana. Now the whole experience in Vipassana is that you can't write anything, you can't note anything, you don't have access to your mobile, you don't have any form of communication with anyone. So everything was within me. So I just conceptualized that, in this digital age, so many people are there who have questions in their mind, and we have no place to access that. I mean, yeah, sure, Google is there, but Google is there for specific, general answers, not for specific answers. And I was focused around the point that it should be a personal experience for everyone. And that's how the name Q&A came in. Actually, the first name was actually Answers. I was trying for answers, only answers. But while I did not visualize all that, but I designed the whole app and the whole screen mentally over there in Vipassana. After coming out, I discussed it with my mentor and my best friend also, and then I got into forming the company, opening the bank account, hiring, all the processes and all. So the name I never got answers. So then I found question answers, and then I said I was very happy with that because answers is just answers. But if question answers is there, it makes even more sense. So that's how Q&A came into being. Then the app got developed, and today the app is on the stage of getting launched. We are going to launch the awareness and the perception campaign, and that's how it has come into being today.
That's really great. Without using a pen, papers, you just conceptualize all the idea. That's really nice. So, Jeet, as you talk about how this idea came in your mind, but can you get us through what is this Q&A app is all about?
Of course. So the app is very simple. It's very basic. It is designed keeping in mind the most technologically illiterate person, at the same time a very tech savvy person also. So the app is very simple. There are no advertisements, there is no unnecessary information, and it's very simple to use. Now let me run you through the app visually. So it's just an app. You download it on the Play Store and Apple Store for free, and once the app opens, so there you have an option of the language. So today it is in English and Hindi. Eventually I want it in every language in the world. Then you go to the next page. We ask for very simple and basic information, which is like your age, your gender, your country, your education qualification, your work qualification, and your relationship status. We do not ask for personal information like name, contact number, birth date, location, exact location. We don't ask for. We don't ask for email ID, we don't ask for anything. We don't save this information, nor do we ask this. So that means, for example, if you access it, you know that only you know what you're doing. We don't know. You know who we are, but we will never know who you are. So it's anonymous for you. So your identity remains with you only. So that gives you a lot of power and a lot of support to ask whatever is on your mind without having to worry what the other person will think about you. Because we are not collecting any information, we are not going to save any information. So you will never get emails from us, you will never get SMSs from us. All you will get is, this is a platform where you are the king. You come, you decide when you want to talk, and you get an answer for your question. Now this is a prepaid app, it's not a free app. So the charges are very minimal. And I will tell you the charges also. There are 200 rupees and 300 rupees for 1 month session. And I think that is a fair value from my perspective. Now, I don't know how it will play out in the global market, but there are people who are doing the similar thing in our industry and they are charging a little higher, but still there's a market for it. So this is how the app works. So you come in, you download the app, you put in basic information, you pay, and then you get connected to somebody where you can just simply ask your question and you will get a specific answer for you. Now that will not be an automated answer, nor will it be a Google answer. It will be a specific answer for your specific problem. And I am very, very convinced with the fact that every question has an answer. And as long as it's a genuine question, there is an answer for it. So this is how the app runs, and it's very simple. So you just come in, put in basic information, ask a question, you're done with it, you exit. That's how the app will work.
Okay, so what kind of answer you give to questions? So what kind of the questions you answer to?
So we have two types. One is personal and one is work. So personal, so you relate everything to your personal self. So when you're talking about you, for example, anything that would affect you personally, that's something you have a challenge with. So let's say, let's not use you as an example, let's use me as an example. So for me, my question while growing up was, what is my purpose? Like, what am I good at? What is my challenge? What is my strength? What do I love doing? And what is my problem in relationships? Why am I not having a good relationship? What bothers me? How do I get the perfect person? So all these questions are related to me. Now this I can't go and sit and talk to my mother. Now there is somebody, once you are given a space where you are very very secure and you are in control of everything that happens in that environment, that changes the whole perspective of how you give yourself the opportunity to ask your question. So personal relates everything to your personal self, and work relates everything to your work, business, money, everything to that. So you have business problem, you have finance problem, you have money problem, you have employee problem, you have staff problem, you have problem with your boss, you have everything. It is bothering you. It will bother you inside. But where is it there? Where is it today where you can access it? You always just keep it within yourself. My wish is that this should become a platform where people can actually excel. So when you are empowered, you grow, and you grow in a good way. So that's the goal behind this. So work related questions and personal related questions.
Okay. So Jit, what I have understand is, or what I have understood is, your app is basically solve the problem related to your personal or the work related problem. Whatever kind of question you have related to your personal life or your professional life, your app solve that problem, right?
Is there any other problem apart from personal and work?
Okay Jit, so I'm going to ask you a next question. Okay, so Jit, so since you are a CEO of your own company, that is Question Answer Private Limited, so you may have a busy day. So how your day start and ends?
So I really don't see myself as busy. I'm very very relaxed in terms of what I do. But generally, whether I was a CEO or not, but my routine has largely been the same. So I start my day at 4 o'clock. I get ready, like I wash up, I get ready little. I meditate. After meditating, I exercise for some time. I take my dogs out for a walk since I'm in Pune at home and now everything is shut. So I take my dogs out for a walk. Then I play with them. Then I clean them. Then I eat my breakfast very early. I get ready. Nowadays I'm cleaning my room and the floor. So I clean the room. Then I get ready and then I just get back to work. So I see a list of pending things from yesterday, and I have a list of things to be done today. But however, in the starting 1 hour between 8 to 9, I spend that reading. So I read a book. So I read a book or I reread a book. Then 9 o'clock onwards, I get on to doing work on the computer or some follow-ups that need to be done, some restructuring that needs to happen, some processes that need to be worked on, some documents that need to be created. So right now, largely I'm only working around those things, and that's how the day passes by. In the middle of the day, I will again revisit a book. I will read again for some time. I'll spend some time on the phone. I will read news. I will go through some posts on Instagram which update me with what is happening, and that's how the day passes actually. So there's no fixed time.
So Jit, yeah, go ahead.
So I sleep early and I get up early.
Okay. So Jit, as you talk about that you like reading books, so if I'll ask you what are the top 3 motivational books that you can recommend, so what would be those?
So I would recommend 3 books. So one is The Choice by Elihu Goldratt. Now that is once again related to personal and work related things. So it deals with yourself. So if you become effective, then it plays in both parts, in your personal life also and work life also. Like the first book is The Choice. The second book is by the same author called The Goal, Elihu Goldratt. The Goal. Now that deals with it's a fiction story based on a factory for work related situation, but again it encompasses the first part of The Choice and it kind of merges somewhere, which is it's an interesting read. And the third book is Built to Last by Jim Collins. So there are 2 books by Elihu Goldratt and 1 book by Jim Collins. So these are the 3 books I have on my desk all the time. So that's what I would recommend to
That's really nice.
somebody seeking to become effective.
That definitely, this kind of books will help to viewers to explore themselves in the business world and in their life. So I would like to ask you. So if I'll ask you your most memorable experience, so what would be that?
So the most memorable experiences I have is of building the house that I'm in right now in Pune. And the journey started from 2012 where we decided to make a house, and then I was involved with buying the land, then design, appointing the architect, and then actually giving the layout of the house, and then being involved with hiring the contractors, getting the work done on a daily basis until we move into the house. So that has been the best part, and I did not really know anything about construction, but I knew I could ask a lot of questions and get a lot of answers. So I was basically the site manager here, and I was just having the best time of my life that day. So I had all the right people, and when I did not know anything, I would just ask the right people who knew the information that I was asking for. And I made sure that we follow the processes, the rules that have been laid out, and I was just coordinating everything. So it was a very good experience for me to build the house.
Okay, so that's really nice, Sajid. You know, you are staying in your own constructed and designed home.
Not designed, like I just drew the outline of the house, but it was engineered and put into place by the architects. I am not an architect, I am not an engineer even. All I can do is one thing I can definitely do is, if somebody gives me a plan and gives me the resources, I can build the best property. That is on my hand. But I am not an architect, I am not a designer. I love construction, I love design, but I'm not a marketer.
But you are fascinating. You are fascinated about constructing site and all, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's really nice. So Jeet, so I'll ended up with last question.
Yeah.
What are the three major steps that you would like to recommend to the viewers who have ideas in their mind but failing with an execution? So what are the three major steps that you would like to recommend to them?
What I would recommend is that you first identify what you love doing. What you love. See, once you have understood that, then the next two steps become very easy. So first thing to understand is that what do you want to do? You first finalize that. It can be anything. Don't get distracted by what everyone else is doing around. Don't get distracted by what I am saying. You just try to identify what you love doing. It can be painting, it can be dancing, it can be building, it can be drawing, it can be anything. But you just identify what you love doing. The second step is, once you identify what, then you focus on how. Then you find ways. Like suppose if you want to be an artist, you want to be an actor, then you start finding out ways how to do that. So you either go to acting school, you talk to people in the industry, you get photo shoots done, you start small photo shoots, start blogging, whichever thing that leads you in that direction. You start multiple options. You keep on trying till you actually identify what is your core strength. So once you identify what, and then you identify how, then the third step is naturally to do it, like take the action. So like I explained for you in my perspective, so it took me so many years to identify what. Once I've identified what, then the how became easier. Then I said, okay, now let's do it. So take the company name, account, bank account, put in money, hire the developers, start paying money. Once you start putting money out, then that means you're serious. But of course, I can still fail. That is not in my hand. But if you are clear with the what and if with your how, then I think money is a result of that. It's not a result of, you don't go running for money. You let money come to you. But you have to first do things that are ethical, and you have to do things that you love and believe in, and then you have to keep on doing it consistently. So three things are what, how and do.
Sujit, I'll just ask you one more question that I feel that is very important. since you have you have found your own company called Question Answer Private Limited, and you must have gone through so many challenges and all. But this is a very important question that I would like to know, that what are the 3 things that you wish you had known earlier?
Okay, so one is that I should have understood the importance of processes, systems, and clarity in terms of what in detail. So systems and processes mean having an organization chart, having vision, having a business plan, having HR plan. You should have a finance plan. You should have everything on paper where you can brainstorm. So I wish I would have done that earlier. I will definitely do that for my next venture. And the second thing is hire the right people. Like, you meet them, but they should be smarter than you. Which I wish I would have done earlier. I am doing that. Nothing has gone. Something is too late. But like, hire. It's not a mistake even. I would just say that be on the lookout. So it's all about mindset, right? Like, you think that you are the boss, so you own everything, you know everything, which is wrong. So just take that off. And the third thing would be, be ready to listen to a lot of criticism, because it will keep coming. And in fact, that will actually reassure you every single day whether do you believe in what you are doing or not. So 3 things are just these things. And the first thing is you have the clarity on your systems and processes. The second thing is you should always have a mindset of knowing that there are smarter people than you, and you should have them working along with you. And the third thing is that you should be ready to listen to criticism, which directly means that you have to be ready to be flexible. So Jeff Bezos of Amazon has a very good saying on this, where he says that his company has grown only on 2 things, and that is, one is the relentless core, which is that they should be stuck to their ideology. What is the relentless core? That they don't want to compromise on certain things. They want to provide the best customer experience. They want to provide the best service. They want to provide the best prices. And that they will not compromise on. But you have to be flexible also at the same time. Flexible. So they are flexible. How they do? They have prime delivery. They have air delivery. Now they have got their own planes to deliver. They have other people to deliver. You have 1-day delivery, 3-day delivery, normal delivery. They are flexible. They are allowing you to refund your packages also. So they have been fixed with their core, that is of best customer service, best prices, best products. But they are flexible with how to do that. So they will take risks. So once again, criticism. So trying out new things. So you have to be fixed with what you do and how you do it, but be open with trying out new methods to do it.
Okay, Jit. So Jit, thank you so much to share your very inspirational story with us. I hope the whatever steps that you have recommended to our viewers, definitely it will help them to explore themselves into that field, and so definitely it will help them to achieve whatever dream they have, right? And definitely the link is given in the description. You can follow Jit on the Instagram. Also the link is given in the description. You can download the Question Answer Private Limited app, and you can ask your question, and you can solve your problems. So thank you so much, Jit, for your valuable time given to us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching our video. If you love the video, please share, like, and don't forget to subscribe our channel and hit the bell icon to get notified. By the time, thank you so much.